Hello and welcome to another video in where I show you my top 5 pedals plus some honorable mentions. I show you those pedals in no particular order, but I show you different genres. We have the Distortion preamp pedal, we have the Boost pedal, we have of course the HM2 pedal, we have the Fuzz pedal, and we have the everything else pedals. So we start with Distortion preamp pedal, and my most favorite Distortion preamp pedal is the Boss MT2W Metal Zone Wassercraft. And why is that? Because I can use the Metal Zone as a preamp into basically every FX return, and it gives me a really cool sound. Most distortion pedals tend to have too less treble for my taste, and I really have to crank the treble, and this is here the case as well, but I can get along with turning the highs up to around 3 o'clock, and with other pedals I have to fully max it and it still sounds dull to me. So therefore this is a really nice, and I basically almost every time use it when I practice with my PV Rage, or well, when I just want to have a quick high quality sound with only pedals. Plus the standard custom mode switch gives me 2 different sounds, so I can have some slight variations. For the preamp pedals I have 2 honorable mentions. First of all, the Lichtlärm Gehenna. This is also a really cool distortion pedal with lots of different options. It also has a built-in boost. That's cool if you just don't have enough gain. It's not on number 1 because I still think it needs a bit more treble to work for me as a preamp pedal, but as a distortion pedal in front of a clean amp it's top notch. And the second honorable mention is the Pepas pedals Satanist. This isn't a preamp pedal, just a distortion pedal, but it sounds so cool and evil. I actually used it to reamp when I had a mixing job for a thrash metal record, and well, it's basically all over this record, and it just sounds so good. You don't need any high quality distortion amp, you just need a clean amp when you have this pedal. Next up, Boost pedal. My favorite boost / overdrive pedal is the Lichtlärm Amber Spyglass. And this is actually a prototype that was sent by me by Lichtlärm, and I was so blown away by it that I never sent it back, and I told Daniel so, and he was totally fine with it, so I'm not stealing anyone's gear. The really cool thing about this is that you can use it 2 ways. First of all, you can use it as a boost. Here we have the volume control and we have a 4-band EQ, so I can really shape my tone how I like it. I can add lows, I can decrease lows, low mids, high mids, however I want. And the second very usable option is that I can use this pedal as an EQ pedal in the FX loop to shape my guitar amp sound if I'm not quite happy with it. And both cases, before the amp or in the FX loop, it's really powerful, and that's why it's my most favorite boost or overdrive pedal. And again, 2 honorable mentions here. I also constantly use the Boss Super Overdrive SD1. And it's on this list because it's just so cheap and it does the job so good. It's basically a better tube screamer, if you ask me. The second honorable mention is the KMA Logan. This is a rather new overdrive from KMA audio machines, and I really like to use it because it's so versatile. It has the 3-band EQ with an adjustable mid control, and you can get some really nice overdrive sounds out of it. It also has an expression jack where you can put a pedal into and use it kind of like a wah effect. So really cool. I actually thought about using it live, but it's so crashes, I just use it in the studio. So that's why it's not on my pedal board. Next up, the fuzz pedals. First of all, I don't like fuzz pedals, and but I have several. And the best fuzz pedals that I have are pedals that are rather fuzz/distortion pedals. And without a doubt, the best is the KMA Audio Machine's Dead Stack. And this one has, as the Logan, 3-band EQ with an adjustable mid frequency. I have a couple of mini switches where I can shape the gain structure, and you can also get some nice chainsaw out of it that really complements the real or true chainsaw sound, and that's why I use this pedal well, basically in the studio situation where I have one HM2 sound and then I have one Dead Stack sound and maybe a third sound. But as for Nightbearer's newest record, it's always HM2 sound, Dead Stack sound, and that's why it's on number 1. As for fuzz pedals, I have one honorable mention. It's the 9 of Swords Funeral Party, and this pedal is really cool. It only has 2 knobs. I would have liked if it had more, maybe a 3-band EQ or whatsoever. However, the overall sound is really cool, and I actually used it for an complementary sound on Nightbearer's first EP, I think. And nowadays I mostly use it when I really want to have a broken 6 sound without sounding too fuzzy, or I use it with bass, and this is really cool for bass. Plus it's a rather cheap pedal. I think it was about 30 or 40 euros new. Next category, everything that's not a distortion pedal. And I tend to mostly use EQ pedals, and that's why my most favorite EQ pedal is my custom JD Music Labs graphic EQ. This is a clone of the Messer 5-band EQ pedal, but it has some added features. It has an additional presence band and a resonance band that I have that I can activate or deactivate via mini switches, and I can set the amount with those 2 knobs. Those are basically the standard settings on the 5-band EQ. I really like the Messer Mark IV EQ, so that's why I opted for it. I know it's not as versatile as maybe the MXR 10-band EQ. I have to try this one out, by the way. But it really helps me to get a good sound, especially when I combine it with the Boss MT2W. And then I basically don't need any preamp. I can just use these 2 pedals and get a really awesome sound. And that's why it's my most favorite. 2 honorable mentions here as well. The first one is another EQ pedal. It's the Lone Wolf Audio 6-hammer EQ. And this EQ is modeled after the famous SEC console EQ that was used at Studio Sunlight. Basically, whenever I record an HM2 sound for Nightbearer, I use the HM2 into this 6-hammer EQ just to get the mids right. And we have 2 mid bands, it's mid and ultra mid, and well, it just sounds so good. Plus, hidden feature, use it in front of a clean amp, sounds phenomenal. Adds some nice warmth and basically everything you want in a clean sound. Another way of operating this pedal would be in the FX loop. However, I think it sounds okay, but it's not my taste, therefore I don't use it this much there. But maybe I should experiment on this. The second honorable mention is not an EQ pedal, it's actually a delay pedal. It's the Kettle Bred Echo Rack. This is, well, basically I bought it because I read in an interview with Amorphis that their guitar player basically writes every song with this pedal, and I thought, well, just buy it and try it. And it's really fun. You can get some nice ambient sounds, especially with the clean channel, and I really like to experiment with this. Plus it has a hidden boost feature. You can actually boost your amp if you want it. And the second use, when I have a small practice setup, I want a lead sound and I want a delay, I use this pedal. I'm pretty sure that there are cheaper options, but I especially like that you basically have two separate delays that can cascade, and I really like cascading delays. So if you have any tips for delay pedals that have a cascading effect, let me know down in the comments. And last category, my most favorite HM2 pedal. And well, do I surprise anyone when I say it's the Left Hand Rev Deluxe? Because it is. It's still up to this date my most favorite HM2 pedal. It's featured on every Nightbearer record as the main HM2 sound because I simply think it sounds this good, and for my personal taste it's the best standalone HM2 pedal out there. This deluxe version has lots of different options. We have the frag control that I use when I switch between rhythm and lead. It also has a blend control. We have the sub control that you can tweak it for different amps to sound phenomenal. And we have this switch that actually doesn't have a name. You can basically add a bit more of compression. So for rhythm and lead sounds, this is really cool. As for honorable mentions for HM2 pedals, I don't have any because I made a specific video for my top 10 HM2 pedals. Actually made several, but the latest one I'm referring to. So watch this if you want to have any suggestion or any other honorable mention. So with this said, let me know down in the comments what are your favorite pedals and what pedals do you think I really should try out to maybe make any change here on my top 5 favorite pedals. Just leave a comment down in the comment section. And if you want to support this channel, check out the links in the description. And with this said, thank you for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and may the force be with you and have a nice day.